grace and peace, everyone. I pray everyone is well tonight. I pray that you have come to be motivated on this marvelous Monday afternoon, a Monday night, rather. Good evening. So, tonight, I'm going to introduce myself as always. I am Zalika Black, the face behind Z Black Ministries. I've been in ministry over 30 years, and my current assignment is to give Monday motivation. Let me take one quick second, get my mic back on, get my mic going. All right, guys, hopefully that's a little bit clearer. Anyway, tonight's topic is becoming unstuck. Becoming unstuck. So, what do I mean by being stuck? Sometimes in life, we can find ourselves in a place where things are not popping, things are not moving, things are becoming repetitious. Good evening, Alicia. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. And so tonight I want to talk about getting out of places that we find ourselves stuck in. It may be a job, it may be a relationship, it may be a thought pattern, it may be a habit, but sometimes we can just find ourselves stuck. And when we get stuck, we fail to progress, we fail to develop, we fail to grow when we get in stuck places. Now, it is quite possible to be growing in one area and being stuck in another area. And an example of that could be on your job. On your job, you're doing outstanding. On your job, you are making gains on your job. You are just knocking things out the park when it comes to your job. But then you get in a relationship and you find in relationships you've gotten stuck. You're not forming healthy relationships. You keep alienating yourself from people. You keep saying, you know what, that's good. I'm good all by myself. So you can flourish in one area and be stuck in another. So what do we need to do? We need to work on every area of our life that we might find ourselves being stuck in. So what is the first thing? I have some key things that I want to go over. Hold on. My baby gave me a note to mute my phone notifications. Let me do that. Y'all, I'm still learning, but thank God for Destiny Helpers. They're helping me. So all right, we got the phone muted. We're good now. All right. So, what are some things that I have to acknowledge at first? One of the first things that you have to acknowledge is that you are stuck. You have to acknowledge that you have gotten to a place where you're not moving in a certain area. You cannot progress, move past, or heal from what you are not willing to acknowledge to yourself. If I don't acknowledge that I've gotten stuck in a relationship, stuck in a job, stuck in a mindset, stuck in a defeated mentality, then I can't grow from that. I can't get out of that state if I'm not willing to acknowledge it. So the first thing you have to do to become unstuck is identify the area in which you have become stuck. Am I still hanging around the same people all the time? Are we progressing? Are we growing? A couple of lives back, I told you to be mindful of your circle. Check your circle. So once I acknowledge the area, and sometimes, guys, I'm going to tell you, it is painful when you have to do that inspection of your life and find out, wow, I've really got stuck. Sometimes we won't leave a job that we don't like because we know that if we need time off, we can get it off. We know what that paycheck's going to look like routinely. We can hate the job and keep going to it just for the paycheck. And in that case, you're stuck. You're stuck again in a job. I can know this relationship is not profitable. We've been dating for 5 years, 6 years. We're still not engaged. We still have no clear definition. His or her family still don't know about me. I'm stuck in a pattern because I'd rather have a relationship than to be by myself. So there are all different areas that we can find ourselves stuck in. So once we admit that we're stuck, one of the things that we have got to do, and this is a note I made, stop rehearsing the narrative of where you think you are. What do you mean by that? Stop rehearsing the narrative of what you think. Well, I don't think it's going to change. And I've been in this job and I don't see no point in applying for a new job. And it's always been like this. Or if you got hurt by a situation, something happened and it hurt your feelings. Every time you go to talk to somebody, you bringing up that same circumstance. I don't think so and so changed because, they hurt me, and I know it's been a year or so ago, but every time you get in a conversation, you find yourself bringing up old topics, bringing up past hurts, bringing up what you have not dealt with, resolved, or if you think you should have had an apology, maybe you haven't gotten the apology. Those things can cause you to be stuck. What if you never get the apology? How are you going to move on in your life and be productive in your life if you don't take control of your circumstances? I've often heard that forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for yourself. And the reason I believe that is if I continue to hold a grudge, if I continue to hold on to resentment, I'm not hurting the people who I have the grudge against. I'm not hurting the person I'm resenting. I'm hurting myself. Why? Because I've gotten stuck at the point of that hurt. Sometimes you have to just say, you know what, God, that happened. There's nothing I can do about it, but I refuse to be stuck rehearsing this day after day after day. You have to make a point of saying, you know what, I'm choosing to get over this. I'm choosing to say that person did it. They may never be accountable for it, but I'm going to move on. I'm choosing to apply for other jobs. Maybe, just maybe, there's something out there that's more flexible, that's more suited for me, that'll change my environment. I'm refusing to continue to go around the same family members expecting them to act different. I'm refusing to have the same poverty or deficit mindset and expecting increase in my finances. We can be stuck in a lot of ways. So we have to change the narrative about what we believe. Maybe nobody in your family has ever gotten a formal education. Don't be stuck in that pattern if you believe you can go out and get a formal education. Maybe no one has ever been a landowner in your family, but don't get stuck in a history that has not been defined as being your history. You have to make a choice to get out of a stuck mentality. I have to admit that I'm stuck in whatever area it is, and then I have to choose to stop rehearsing the narrative over and over again in a stuck place. What you feed is the thing that will grow. If I feed that narrative to myself over and over and over, well, they ain't never gonna apologize. They never liked me. I'm never gonna get out of this dead end job. This relationship's never gonna go anywhere. If I keep feeding myself that, then that's the thing that's gonna grow and it's gonna become my belief system. I said in a live not too long ago, you got to watch what comes out of your mouth and you got to watch what you speak. And when you're speaking it, you got to watch what you come in agreement with. You got to watch if I'm going to agree with this narrative. So now I got to be careful of what narrative I let dictate my life. Do I have hope? Do I have a future? Being a person who believes in biblical principles Jeremiah 29:11 tells me that God said, I know the plans that I have for you, saith the Lord. Plans to prosper you and to bring you to an expected end, to give you a hope and a future. That's what I want to rehearse. That's what I want to come in agreement with. I don't want to be stuck in dead end things thinking I can't get out of it. So here's another note. What do I need to do? Create a focus and plan for where you are trying to go. If I don't want to be stuck in the same mindset, if I don't want to be stuck in the same place year after year after year, nothing is going to change without a plan. Model it. I have to look for a plan of action that's going to get me out of the place I'm in. I have to have a plan for the relationship. I have to have a plan for the job. I have to have a plan for my own mindset. What am I posting in my areas? What do I have written on my mirror? What have I put on my dashboard of my car to switch my thinking so that I'm not rehearsing things that keep me stuck? So, yes, I have to create a plan. I have to create a focus. I have to create an atmosphere. I have to do the research. A lot of times, guys, we find ourselves, and this is just the truth, and it may be a hard truth for some to swallow, but it's a truth nonetheless. Sometimes we find ourselves stuck because we don't want to put in the work that it requires to change. Change takes work. It takes effort. And sometimes we get in the rut of familiarity, so we don't allow ourselves to change because it's actually easier to be stuck. Now, does it make you happier? Does it make your life more fulfilled? No, but it's easier because it's familiar. But if you're ever going to become unstuck from any situation, regardless to what it is, you are going to have to put in the work. That work might be a change of mindset, might be a change of location, might be a change of circles, it might be a change of practices, habits, but you're going to have to put in the work to get out of a stuck state. All right? So, what's another key? Don't be drawn back with old habits, conversation, or repetitive narratives. That's a good one right there. Don't be drawn back by old habits, old conversations, or repetitive narratives. You ever you ever found that you've gotten over something and you've gotten past it, and that one person can come up and all of a sudden they want to talk about everything that happened in that situation? Yeah, well, if she hadn't said so and so to you, then you might have not felt like that. And girl, if she'd have said that to me, I think I'd still be mad. You got to make up in your mind that I'm not going to be drawn into old narratives or old conversations. And I'm not going to go back to old habits. If I know that I had a habit of getting up 10 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock at night after I've gone to bed. Now I want to get healthier. I want to lose weight. I want to live a healthier life. But I know I have a habit of midnight of getting up, going to the refrigerator and finding that not so healthy snack. I'm not going for grapes. I'm not going for an apple. Yeah, the ice cream, the caramel pecan ice cream, the praline. That's what I'm going for. And oh, it'd be good with a little bit of pound cake. Now, if I know that it's going to be counterproductive to my goal to lose weight, that's a habit I don't need to go back to. Why would I keep doing the same habit that becomes a detriment to what I'm trying to accomplish? Same thing with conversations. If I call that friend and every time I call that friend, they're rehearsing the same hurt, the same negativity, the same, you are stuck. And sometimes being a good friend is telling them, Friend, I love you, but you good and stuck. You're good and stuck. And I can't afford to be stuck here with you. So you're either going to heal from it, get over it, or seek help about it. And all of those things are each and every individual's personal choice. I have to choose to get over it. I have to choose to get help for it. I have to choose to do something different than just rehearsing it. I can't let people draw me back into a mindset. Okay, I want to go to school for nursing. Ooh, child, all the classes you got to take for nursing. Oh my God. At this stage in your life, why would you want to do that? What am I doing? I'm allowing a narrative to be constructed that's talking me out of what I want to do. It's talking me out of what I'm trying to accomplish. You got to be mindful of who you let speak to you when you're trying to get out of stuck places. Because misery does indeed love company. If other people around you are stuck, they're not the people that you're going to look to cheer you on to get out of the mud, to get out of the pit, to get out of the place that has you in a routine or a pattern that you're trying to break. You've got to choose to not rehearse old habits, conversations, or repetitive narratives that keep you in a headspace that imprisons you. It's a yoke of bondage. You don't need to be bound by that yoke when you are trying to take your life to another level. Remember, God says, I have plans for you, and they're good plans. They're not evil plans. They're to prosper you and bring you to an expected end. So if I see that I'm not progressing towards good things, prosperous things, things that are going to take me higher, then I'm stuck. I'm stuck in some area. Every area of your life should be progressing and showing growth. Things that are not growing are dying. The opposite of growing is decaying. If it's not growing, then it's dying. I don't want to be associated with dead things. Last week's live was coming out of agreement with dead things. Agreeing with dead things is the same as being stuck. I can do all things. I think it's Philippians 4 and 13 that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You may not have the support in people, but you will always have the support in God. If I pray and I ask God, God, give me a plan that's going to help me learn a new skill. Now, I had a friend from the Bahamas, and she said, her name was Shanrika. She said her grandmother used to tell her when she was laying down or she was feeling lazy, she said her grandmother would say to her, don't nothing come to sleepers but a dream. I love that. So, what am I saying? If you get a plan, if you get instructions, you've got to be willing to follow the instructions. You've got to be willing to go back and do what I said earlier in the live and put in the work. A lot of times, even as believers in Christ, we sometimes think that Christ is this magic genie that if we rub the lamp, poof, he just gonna make our situations change. Yes, God has the ability to change every situation, but he does it through us, through our ability to follow instructions, to do the things we're told to do. I can want a new job all day long, but if I never inquire, if I never put in applications, if I never ask people about different career paths, am I expecting the job to just jump up and drop in my lap? Only if I'm putting something out in the air and in the atmosphere that says, I am marketable. Approach me. I'm doing different things. Approach me. We have got to be an advocate in our life if we're going to be unstuck. All right, let me give you another point. This is a good one. And I think this is one of the best ways that I've ever thought about when it comes to being unstuck. And this point was find a model of what you're looking for. Find a model of what you are looking for. If I wanted to go into the area of dentistry, I don't need to be studying construction workers. If I wanted to go into dentistry, I don't need to be spending my time looking at cosmetology videos. I need to educate myself by finding a model of someone or something that has already progressed to the level that I'm aspiring to. I want a model that shows me that what I'm believing, what I'm looking for, what I'm expecting, what I want to see is possible. Don't look for a model in people who don't aspire to go where you're going. Don't look for the narrative of people who are not. If I'm thinking about saving $20,000 in the next 12 months, I don't need to be talking to people with a deficit mindset. I don't need to be talking to people who don't have two nickels to rub together. I need to be modeling the person who is purchasing houses with no money down and paying for it cash. I need to be modeling the person who can tell me how to live a debt-free life. I need to be studying people like Dave Ramsey, who might tell you you need to live off beans and rice and beans for a while. All your Dave Ramsey fans, you'll get that later. I need to find a model of what I want to accomplish and what I want to achieve. And I need to keep my eyes on that model. I need to keep my ears to the narrative of that model, because anything else is going to draw me back into old habits, old patterns, and old conversations. But if I keep finding model after model after model, then I'm going to pattern myself and follow some of the practices for where I want to go, which will draw me out of a stuck place. Remember, I started this by saying we can be stuck in one area while we're prospering in another. The problem with that imbalance, I gave the example of being great at your job and being up for promotion at your job because you're doing so well in your job, but you are doing lousy in relationships. All of your friendships deteriorate. All of your love interests deteriorate. Then that's an imbalance. And the problem with that imbalance is that imbalance of where you're stuck can often creep over into where you're successful. So if I'm getting promoted because I'm a hard worker, but I have relationship issues, eventually on that job, the more I work with people, the more those relationship issues are going to surface. If I'm trying to eat healthy and trying to live a better lifestyle, but I lack discipline, then eventually in my life, a lack of discipline is going to show its head. That's why we have to examine ourselves. And that goes back to point number one. I have to be honest and acknowledge where I have gotten stuck. Lying to yourself is the worst person in the world to lie to. You can shoot something to other people, and that's bad too. But when you lie to yourself, you start walking in delusion. See, when you're lying to someone else, you know you're lying. You might be telling them a lie. They might know you're lying too, but you're lying outwardly. But when you start lying to yourself, you begin to believe that narrative, and now you're walking in delusion. It's like people who get their feelings hurt. And it's so funny being in education and being in middle grades. I see this all the time when friends hurt each other's feelings and you go to talk to them and you're like, yeah, I get that. I get how that hurt your feelings. That didn't hurt me. That didn't hurt me. I'm fine. I'm fine. Ain't nobody hurting me. And the whole time they're lying. The whole time they are hurt. That's delusion. When we don't admit to ourselves, you know what? I haven't seen growth in this area in a long time. I don't care if it's finances. I don't care if it's health. I don't care if it's mindset, reading, studying, career. If we're not honest, then change can never come. That's when you can identify that you're stuck. And here's the thing, guys, even if you're not in a state of being utterly stuck, you can be in a state of having slowed growth. Revive that area. There is room for improvement in every area. Excuse me. In every area of our life, there's always room to improve. If you are a fitness buff and you get up and you work out every day, there's still room to check your diet. There's still room to say, am I doing this in excess? Every area of your life can improve. And sometimes it's not a matter of being so stuck that you cannot see growth at all, but maybe it's slow growth. Maybe you need to accelerate that area. But what you cannot do is slow to the point where you find yourself not moving. That's when you're stuck. If I don't see growth in an area, I have to be mindful that I don't become stuck in that area. So, to recap the points, first you have to acknowledge if and where you've gotten stuck, whatever area of your life it is. And then stop rehearsing the narrative of where you think you are. If you're stuck, stop rehearsing a negative that's just where you're supposed to be. Stop rehearsing a narrative of that nothing will ever change. Well, I might as well accept this. Change the narrative of where you are. 3, create a focus and a plan for where you're trying to go. Maybe my credit score is not where I want it to be right now, but what are some things I can do to improve that? Maybe I need to start tackling debt from smallest to greatest. Maybe I need to curb my spending habit. Maybe Amazon, Temu, Shein, and countless other places are not where I'm investing my money. Maybe I'm in a rut financially because I'm eating my seed instead of sowing my seed. You can't reap a harvest without sowing. Change your habit. Focus. Get a goal. Where do you want to be? 12 months from now, I want to have X amount of dollars in my savings. 12 months from that, I want to increase that by 5%. 12 months after that, I want to increase it by 10%. Set a goal. Then don't be drawn back into old habits. If I know that I'm paying for everything that I want in cash, if I have to spend credit to get it, I'm not going to get it. That's my goal. I want to be debt free. I don't want to owe on credit cards. So if I can't pay cash, I'm not going to get it. Don't be drawn in by the credit card ads, by the sales clerk, by the friend who tells you, girl, just put it on your credit card. Let's go take this vacation. You have to have enough discipline to stick with the goals that you're setting. Don't be drawn back in by old conversations. I'm trying to get over this hurt. I'm trying to be delivered from this pain. And then here comes that phone call. Girl, did you hear what so-and-so said? I remember. No, not today. Not today, Satan. Let's change the subject. And if they're not willing to change the subject, let's not talk. I'll call you on another day. Don't be drawn back to conversations that take you back to negative mindsets or stuck places. Don't repeat the same things over and over, not looking for a change. Finally, find the model. Who can I look to? What can I look to? Where can I look? How can I educate myself to get out of the state that I'm in? It is possible. You've made gains in so many areas of your life. Evaluate why you're stuck in this particular area or that particular area. Guys, we are going to move forward. We're going to press. I have a shirt that I'm going to releasing soon, getting tongue tied, that says moving unapologetically forward. You don't have to apologize for wanting to be unstuck. You don't have to apologize for wanting to be better. All right, I'm going over my time a little bit, so I'm going to say a prayer for us. Father, I thank you for your topic on tonight. I thank you that you care so much about us that you don't want us to be stuck in any area of our life. God, give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about where we have slowed in our growth, where we have become stunted or stuck, where we have become repetitive in rehearsing things that do not produce any fruit, God. Help us to understand what narratives that have become a part of our reality, but yet they're rooted in delusion, God. God, expose every plan and plot of the enemy to keep us in places that will go against our growth and our development. God, you are well able. You said in your word that you had plans to prosper us and to bring us to an expected end. God, we refuse to be stuck in any area of our life, health, wealth, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We will excel, God. We will do exceedingly and abundantly above what we thought we were capable of with your help, God. Strengthen us, educate us, give us wisdom, knowledge, understanding until we come to a place of growth. And Father, we'll be so mindful to give your name the honor, the glory, and the praise. All right, guys, if you know somebody who needs this encouragement of getting unstuck, knowing they need the encouragement, you can do it. I believe in you. I believe that somewhere in the future, you will look much better than you look right now. Tune in next Monday, same time, same place. Go over, share this video with someone, introduce someone to the Facebook page. They may not be on Facebook. If they're not a friend, I'm starting a ministry page, but it takes a while. Introduce them to the YouTube channel. Let someone come on and get this message. Share it. I'll see you guys next Monday, same time, same place, with another word of motivation. Be blessed. Bye.